Hey everybody, Lord Tremendous here, and we've got another edition of Square Table happening right now. We're live. Look at the little thing up there, right there. It says live, or maybe you can't see that. I don't care. Today I've got four people, four YouTubers and three YouTubers and a podcaster, all ready to entertain you in episode 5. We're going to be talking about Adepticon, Brawlers Bash, tournaments in general, and God only knows what else. So sit back, relax, and get ready to see how it goes. And if you guys want to introduce yourselves, Mittierim, you're on my immediate left, so why don't you start us off?
All right. Hi, everybody. I'm Mittierim. I do narrative battle reports mostly, so I'm going to be the sort of low man on the knowledge totem pole as far as the tournaments go. I'm actually prepping to go to Brawlers, which will be my third ever tournament this coming weekend. So,
be a real good time.
You're gonna
I loved it. I went to one 2 years ago, and it was awesome. So now that my schedule's worked out again so that I can do them, I'm all in that.
Well, hi, I'm Sir MC 2015. My YouTube channel is Green Dragons Gaming, and my entire group, well, not my entire, 3 of my group actually participate putting up battle reports. That would be Dan from 9th Age, Pretty Boy, whose real name is Ryan. All of us will turn around and put up content. We're going to be going to Brawlers. And what I love about Brawlers, which is being hosted by Atomic Empires, is they serve beer right there. Sure. They've got the bar, you walk up, you get yourself the pint, and you go back to your game. It's fantastic. Love it.
That's the standard here.
That's crazy. I couldn't imagine getting drunk at a tournament. Oh.
Really? Oh my! I just went down to Battle Cry. I got second in Battle Cry, and in between games, they're like, "Hey, let's go with the cars. Come on, let's have a beer." So it's like a second day. I turn around, I walk outside after game 1. I walked out with Wargaming from the balcony and a bunch of his crew. We all had a beer, and then after my last game against Joel with that peasant horde, which I'm helping add to, and I'm kicking myself for doing that for Brawlers. We went out and we had a good glass of rum. So,
oh my God!
And then we just waited for them to come in and tell us the report. And with going down to Brawlers, the other really nice thing is the hotel that a good chunk of us are staying at is maybe a mile from the game store. That's it. It's literally turn left. It's down the road on the right. That's it.
That's nice. That's real nice.
Mr. Chapman?
Hi, I'm Jack, aka Gail Morris. I do the Thundercock Podcast. The
Thundercock!
Thundercock's home!
Yes, the UK's #1 9th Age podcast that I know of. Keep in mind, I'm quite ignorant, but you know. Yeah, that's what I do. I think I'm on the opposite end of the scale to Mittierim because I pretty much do tournaments exclusively. I normally do at least 1 a month, 2 a month sometimes. I think I went to 16 last year, and I think I'm on track for 12 to 14 this year. So.
Are you married with kids?
No.
Okay.
No.
That explains that.
I'm married to the game.
Also in the UK, though, there's like a lot more tournaments, like in a closer area.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how far you guys have to go to a tournament, but I think 2 hours is like 2 to 3 hours is the maximum I'd ever have to go.
Yeah.
I'm traveling 6 hours for Brawlers. I traveled an hour 20 for Battle Cry. I'll be traveling about 2 hours there's a 1-day tournament that's being put on by Wargaming in the Balcony out in DC at Huzzah Games, Huzzah Games. So that's about it. I'm going to be hosting one up at my local game store, but that's it. I mean, unfortunately, up here in the East Coast with go ahead, James, you can get it.
No, I'm counting. How many I've been to?
I was going to say,
Yeah.
I thought he was looking at a fly because I hear like something
No,
buzzing in the background.
trophies
I
are
was
all
like,
in front of him there. Yeah, they're behind us.
I was also going to say that the reason that I go to so many tournaments is because I am like an absolute competition addict. I just need to if I could just inject the plastic directly into me, then I would.
that's not healthy.
Also in ETC play, I guess I should probably add that as well to add a bit of context. I played
Scotland! Hey,
Yeah, I'm playing for Scotland this year.
Team Scotland!
Yes, Team Scotland. So I'm making my family proud. Can't even say that with a straight face.
Your mother's
Let
probably
me
sitting there
ask
like,
a complete.
come on, I want grandchildren. Come on, oy vey.
So let me interrupt
I was
for a second
Jewish.
to ask a complete noob question about ETC that's confused the hell out of me. Do you have to actually have any connection to the countries that you're playing for? Because I can't figure it out.
Right.
Yes.
So you've got to have either heritage, which is at least grandparents or better, being from their country, like with a passport, all that stuff, or you can claim residency, which is you have to have lived there for 2 years and currently be living there. But my dad's side of the family is all Scottish, so
Cool. That means that.
Okay.
I know I don't sound very Scottish, but I don't know. I don't know what I sound like to you guys. I'm sure it just sounds like I could probably blur any accent together from
Hey, I don't sound
You
Mexican.
sound American to me.
I don't sound Mexican, but I could try to make myself look more Mexican by wearing like a wife beater.
There it is. There it is. And Chihammer's getting naked. All right. New personal best.
All right, where are those ladies we were all talking about earlier for you, Chai?
What?
It's just shaming the rest of this. It's just body shaming.
Body shaming?
Yeah,
No,
you're
I'm
making
doing the
rest of us feel
Mexican
bad.
thing, man.
I play ogres, so I look like an ogre. All right. That's how I role play.
Is it my turn yet?
Go for
Yeah.
What's going on, YouTube?
What?
it. Oh,
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear him. What was that?
I don't know. My ears are bleeding. It's okay. You
You
can't
kicked me
see.
out of the chat.
Did you scream so loud you killed your internet?
I can talk, but I can't see shit, so I have to restart it.
He screamed so loud his camera broke. We can see you.
I don't know. I'll be back.
His camera dies. That sucks.
That's impressive.
Oh, I'm gonna have him do that if my dice roll bad at Adepticon, and see if he can yell them back into good graces.
I thought you just hit yours with a hammer recently.
No. I set mine on fire.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I'm the fire guy. Yeah.
And here I was thinking you weren't that violent.
Hasn't it?
It has been because I got an ultimatum from the wife that if I did it again, I'd get in trouble. And let's face it, Mrs. Tremendous is in charge. Like,
Like any.
Yeah.
Well, Thunder. This doesn't go to Thundercock, obviously, but for the rest of us, yes, the wife is in charge. I think we all know that.
yeah. I don't have any delusions that I'm in charge or I make any of the decisions. If she's not happy, I'm not happy, and if she's not happy long enough, I'm gonna miss out on about half my stuff and be very lonely. So it's the give and take.
Well, I had the choice. I had the choice between my girlfriend and a tournament, and I chose the tournament. No, I'm just kidding. God, could you imagine?
Let's get real quiet, guys.
God, could you imagine?
She's in the house. I can't agree or disagree. I don't know what to do.
Oh no, she's not real.
Oh no, my wife is. Yeah, no, my wife is in
Oh,
the
your
house.
wife is.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
okay.
swear she's real. She's not dishwasher safe. She doesn't have a blow up port anymore. Nothing like that. So we're good. Legit real human being.
Absolutely. That's why we never hear her in the background.
By the way, I never introduced myself. I just screamed at you guys.
You
Go
don't
ahead.
have to.
Finish
I
up.
think the world
Wait.
knows who you are.
Wait, hang on. Okay, go.
I want you to hear me with or without the headphones. That's why I screamed.
I know, but where's that?
I'm James. I play Orcs and Goblins. I have a YouTube channel called Chihammer Fantasy. I've been to, I was counting, at least 9 tournaments last year, and then I've also went to the ETC, which would be my 10th. These are GT tournaments, and then I've done
Lucky numbers. Rookie numbers, Silver. Rookie numbers.
Rookie numbers. I know. I'm sorry. That's 10. But like to travel to even to Brawlers, I had to take a plane. Like friggin' was that a 4-hour plane ride roughly or a 14-hour drive?
I'm getting ready to drive 13 to 15 hours next week. That'll be fun.
I was gonna do it with my brother, but then he wussed out in the last minute.
For what? Going down to Brawlers?
No, last year, North Carolina. I went. The whole plan was I fly out there, I hang out with my friend who lives out there, and then my brother was going to drive out there, and then we were going to meet up, play at Brawlers, and then we were going to drive back.
All right.
And then, so I didn't even buy the return ticket to fly or anything. And then last minute, he's like, "Hey, I'm not going to go. I got work." I'm like, "What?"
I don't know how many you know.
No.
That's why I choose to job before I get every weekend off. So
Can you say hi, Sam? Can you say hi to people in the computer? Hold on. Which one do you have? Drift, who's on the newer Transformers.
And Optimus Prime.
Optimus Prime. I'm starting him off well.
It starts with the Transformers and eventually leads to an army. I like what you're doing. Excellent.
I'm trying to hit mute.
lucky guy. Wish I had Transformers toys when I was a kid.
I had Ninja Turtles.
Oh, that's before my time.
I had
old are
Thundercats and
you?
He-Man. Beat that.
I'm 23.
I had all of those.
Ninja Turtles was not even on TV when I was a kid.
Holy shit! I'm
showing
a whole decade older than you.
Yeah.
Holy shit!
And you're still worse at this game than I am. How does that work?
Apparently on ETC, I'm worse than 25 countries.
I mean, you play Team England. I saw you play Greg. You're an embarrassment to your country.
For the record, on that game, it's only that I get Dave and Bust. Okay, they're like, "What's the matchup?" I said, "That's a red matchup, dude. I do that. That guy will fuck up all my monsters. He has D3 freaking wounds and cannons and all that." And they're like, "Great, you're gonna play him." I'm like, "Oh." Okay.
It's funny because, in fairness, Craig is the best player in the UK, so there's no shame in losing to him.
But not only that, I really pissed off Craig at that game because I got 3 points.
What? You know, Craig takes personal for every point that he loses. So.
Gosh.
So I think.
So at least you mine are real.
What's that?
I said you've seen my family actually is real. They're not blown up. They're not just watching safe. You know.
And he rents them by the hour. So.
Human trafficking is alive and well in the 9th Age, and yeah. So you guys are all getting. I know I personally am getting ready to go to Adepticon next week. I know Chihammer's going to go to that. But Mittierim and Green Dragon, where are you guys going?
We are going to Brawlers,
which is in North Carolina at Atomic Empires.
Mm-hmm.
What are you guys playing?
Dwarves.
Both of you playing dwarves?
Yep.
What are
Hey,
the
that's
odds?
great. I'm playing Green Dwarves.
Well,
He does have
less
a point.
armored, greener, taller dwarves.
I am actually the same list I've been playing now for quite some time. It's actually a modification of the list I took second at Battle Cry. Is exactly what I'm taking with me. So, anyone who's ever watching my...
So just a quick rundown. Could you just let me know what that list is? You have to go into detail.
That's what I was actually about ready to do. Absolutely. Always feel free watching my more recent videos. You'll see exactly what's in my list. But I've got a king on a war throne that is kitted out so that he's toughness 6, basically bluffer's helm, great weapon with a 5-up ward. I've got a BSB that has smashing, so if you're toughness 5 or better, he's going to be hitting you with strength 10. He's got lightning reflexes with a 6-up ward save plus shield wall. and 1-up armor save. And my king has 1-up armor save. I've got a runic smith that causes fear, has a 6-up ward save, 3-up armor, and has rune of gleaming, resilience, and reckoning. So that's reroll to misses in close combat. That is -1 to hit and -1 to wound. And I have a engineer that is basically, he's got a plate, shield, and repeater. That's it. Nothing else to him. What else do I have? I've got 5 Seekers that skirmish in Vanguard. Nothing to them. I got 2 Vengeance Seekers. I have 10 Warriors with great weapons and throwing weapons at Vanguard. I have 23 Deep Watch with the Banner of Dismay. I have 19 Deep Watch with the Banner of Runic Shielding. I have 25 Spearmen with the Flame Standard. I have 15 Clan Warriors with hand weapon shields. I've got 10 Guild-crafted handgunners. I have 10 crossbowmen. I have 5 Rangers with... They should still have throwing weapons. I don't remember if I took throwing weapons away from them or not. I have 10 miners with shield and throwing weapons. And 2 organ guns. 1 organ gun has flaming and runic crafted. The other one is just runic crafted, does not have flaming. Because this way, if something has regen, that one, the flaming is going to pick on regen. Something is going to have the Fireborn, then that's what the other organ gun is for.
I'd hate to be a soldier in your army, because you look at your rangers and you say, they probably have weapons. They might. I don't know.
Well, just everything in my army has shields. I'm there to protect my...
No, that's interesting. Because around here in the UK, dwarves do like they're very popular at the minute. They're probably the most popular race right now. They just kind of exploded in 9th Age, but they don't really podium at all. Not around here, anyway.
I hear that a lot.
But there is a list in New Zealand which is absolutely smashing. The scene.
Which one was that? Was that the one with a lot with all the Vengeance Seekers?
2 Vengeance Seekers.
All the Seekers.
2 Vengeance Seekers and a unit of 24 Seekers. Yeah. Yep.
No, I know the list you're talking about. So here's my thing. I hate unbreakable units. That's why my 3 unbreakable units, they're meant to die. All right, they're either 1 to 5 models. They're there to either go after chaff, kill chaff, or go after war machines. That's just me as a player, and I can go on a whole tirade. But it's having an unbreakable unit on the board. It changes the entire dynamic of the game. Because no matter what, they're going to sit there and die to the last man. So if you make that unit large enough, I don't know. To me, it kills a little bit of the fun. But that's me. It's
a different. You got to deal with it in a different way, I guess, which is kind of the whole point. If you play their game, with any unit, if you play that unit's game, then you're never gonna.
Oh yeah.
It's never gonna end well for you. So if you try and take them in combat, obviously it's not necessarily gonna work. But if you shoot them off, then they'll die pretty fast.
And see, Mark, that's why I play badly, so none of my units stay on the board very long, so I don't have to feel bad about whatever I bring.
Yeah, and I play vampires, so everything's unbreakable, so I guess I'm somewhat biased.
Yeah, but you crumble at least. Yeah.
No, not with the new rules.
Well...
The new crumble rules, you don't lose anything, man.
No, you really don't. And my buddy, who's actually coming down, he's playing Orcs and Goblins as well. Pretty boy. And he, with his VC, when he started saying, oh yeah, well, they're steadfast, so they only lose half of that, and there's this BSB, and then this spell book and candle, so I lose 3 models. I'm like, I just beat you by like a score of 24 points. It's like, yeah, I lost 3. I'm like, all right, whatever you say, man.
It is satisfying, yes.
I thought steadfast you couldn't lose any more than 12.
Yeah, stubborn's the one you half.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Stubborn is the one where it's in half. And then they've got little item like the BSB. I think you lose 1 less or something like that.
1 less for every rank you have.
Oh, is it 1 less for every rank? Oh, yeah, okay.
Jesus.
And then you have like Necromantic Aura. So if you're next to a Cadaver Wagon, and you crumble 1 less as well, and there's just so many different ways to reduce it.
Man, I'm lucky I got ogres. We just smashed the hell out of them. All right, 30 are dead. I don't care if you lose 3. You've only got 20 left.
Hey, Tremendous, when are you coming to Chicago?
Wednesday night is when we'll arrive. We're gonna leave early Wednesday morning. And
then,
so,
I was like, when do you leave Chicago?
oh, when do I leave?
I asked both, but
The 1st, I think. I think that's Saturday. Saturday, like a week and a half later. Yeah.
okay. So we have plenty of time to play.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
We will figure it out. Although I'm going to do a grudge match against you if I can. I'm going to walk right up to the TO, give him $50, and be like, I got to play against him.
I'll tell Brian right now that you offered him $50. He'll be happy. Brian.
But Thundercock, to get back to what you were saying, is I also remember, I'm glad to hear dwarves are definitely picked up in popularity, because to me, the army hasn't changed. It really hasn't since 9th Age, like, I don't know, since they put on Whole Guardians. And I remember all the hate that like Deep Watch was getting, and a lot of the other units. I'm going, these are like really good units. I don't know what people are talking about and playing with, but and with that one list you were talking about, that kind of goes with more or less how the 9th Age is you have to be aggressive. You have to turn around and play. You want to hit the other man, not be hit.
Well, it depends. So, like you talk about that, like the list that I'm running for vampires and the peasant list as well. That list, those lists kind of like thrive on not playing you. They just take the objective and just sit there and make it so you can't get points.
I'm playing 100 goblins for the same reason.
I'm playing 120 skeletons.
Oh my god!
I've got pictures of,
I would rather play the 100 goblins than the 100 skeletons.
Oh yeah, no, because it's 100 plus skeletons. It just keeps on going up and up and up.
God.
I'm playing a stupid skew list that's almost mathematically certain that I'm going to end up on the bottom table at some point.
Dude, you're on a table. Who cares? Have a beer.
Yeah, no, see. This is what I was joking with my crew around here, because I tend to win the majority of our games. I was like, I'm going to take this list down there so that I can know what you guys feel like. And
I want you to know, I was watching one of your battle reports. My wife's like, oh, I like how he takes his pictures where you can actually see the models rather than the aerial view. So I want you to know that was something my wife said about your battle reports.
Well, tell her thank you. I've been trying to get a few more close-ups of late, because it frankly helps me remember, because I don't take notes or anything during my battles to do the battle reports.
Yep.
So if I go from too far back, I look at the picture and go, what the fuck am I supposed to be talking about here?
I see that in my videos.
See,
what the fuck am I looking at here?
See, I try to do one picture at the end of the phase, and even I forget those too. So
I've done narrations where I've forgotten what turn we're on. Y'all think I put the top and bottom of the turns on the slide for you? That's so I remember where the hell I'm at.
And thank you for that, because I stole that from you, Lord T, and I've been doing it lately, and it's been tremendously helpful. No pun intended.
It's really nice, isn't it? It's like, where are we? Oh yeah, turn 3. Turn 3 is where my comet totally screwed me out. Okay, so I remember what happened now. Yeah, I've paused it quite a few times and just sat there and stared at a picture like, what did I take this picture for? Why did I do this?
Why do you think I take a picture of the turn dial and the magic dice?
Yeah,
I don't know what the fuck is going on.
I don't know.
What I do. I turn around, I'll take the model, put it on top of the dice.
Yeah, I don't know how you actually remember what happens in the magic phase. Unless the spell goes off, I don't know what the hell I get. There's 9 times out of 10 that I don't have a clue what spell went off. Yeah, this went off. Did its strength or toughness or maybe +1 initiative. I don't remember. But they got a spell off over here. That's what caused the miscast. I just want to get to the miscast. I don't care about the rest of it.
See, for me, I have that same problem, but luckily most of the magic we play around here is pyromancy. So as long as I just label D something strength 4 flaming hits, I'm pretty sure that I'm right.
In 1.1 I had all the cards that I made myself, printed out, so it was easy for me to check.
That inspired me to make cards after watching your battle reports with that.
Well, the thing is, those cards, since they were so characteristic and they were so easy to figure out what's what, when I try to read the 9th Age ones that are printed out on the website,
Yep.
I can't see what the hell that is. And when it shows up on my battle reports, I'm like, what the scorching salvo? I think it's that. You know?
Yeah, no. No, that's why I cut them up and put them on. I actually used magic cards. I actually turned around and took some of my old magic cards that have been sitting in my basement for 20 years and put them on top of that.
Yeah. So ever since 1.3 Magic, I haven't done the cards, and it's kind of like the whole thing, like, oh, I'm going to make the cards, and then as soon as I make them, they're going to change the Magic. So
I have to get good at it quick, because when I'm podcasting, if I do a report on a tournament, I'm normally recording the week after, so I have to remember 5 games back to back with no aids. So
take pictures, man.
The thing about it is nobody can correct you. So I played my first game and I won. No, I lost. You lost the game. Shut up. Get out of my house. And,
I
won that game.
that's the secret.
That's what I was going to say. You're undefeated, aren't you?
I've never lost a game. If I had a podcast, oh no, I'd never lose a game ever. I'm the only guy in the world with a podcast that has never lost a model in a game ever.
One model.
Never once.
Not even the novelers.
Even when they flee, they stay on the table. It doesn't matter. You were 2 inches away. Rolled a 1 on 2d6. You weren't there. You don't know.
My opponent miscasted on a 3d6 fireball. He rolled all ones.
Oh.
No, I'm just saying that's what you're saying, man.
I don't know what you're talking about. No.
Never happened. All ones.
So,
Well, as long as you get the gist of what happened, it's fine. No one really pays attention, really, do they?
yeah, I get called out like a son of a bitch. When
I was going to say.
Yeah.
Well, that's me. That's me. I'm commenting on your videos, giving you shit. Because
I knew it!
No, because I actually quite like watching your battle reports, Mittierim, because obviously they're a bit different. I mean, one way or the other, I either like to watch, because everything we play in the UK is 4,500 points. So when I see the Green Dragon ones where they're like 6k points, I just don't even bother, because I'm just not interested in 6k because it is not relevant to me. But then when you have like the story-based ones, I don't really care what points they are. I just think it's a really good idea, and it's just really entertaining to watch. And I really want to do some of my own. The problem I have with battle reports is I always forget to take pictures because I get caught up in the game. And I've tried it like 3 times, and I just screwed it up. That's why I've got this Thundercock's YouTube channel that has nothing on it. It has had for the last 6 months, because I keep forgetting to take bloody pictures of my games, and I can't make a fucking battle report.
Well, I appreciate that. I actually, it happens to me too. I just did last night a Sylvan Elves on Lizardmen or Saurian Ancients, and totally forgot to take a picture of my entire movement phase turn 1. So it's just like things are starting to die, and I'm looking at the pictures going, where am I? Because I'm taking these close-up pictures. I don't see any of my models, but his models are dying. I know something's happening.
I was so bad about it at one point that I actually have a slide for when I forget to take a picture. It's got the little guy with the sign on it, and then I write in there in red letters what I fucked up. Hey, I forgot to do this.
My favorite one
happens.
is when is actually on Chihammer's videos where he forgets on the narration but remembers during editing and writes it on the picture. That's my favorite one.
Oh yeah, that's what happened.
I've done that a few times.
What's funny as well is I often pick up on what you've done before it comes up on the slide. So I'm like, I bet that was a fireball that did that, and then it'll come up on the next slide and you'll be like, I forgot fireball or something, and I'm like, yeah. And then I feel good about myself.
Write an insulting comment about your inability to write a battle report.
I write it about myself. I do. I put it on there like fucking dumbass. No narrator forgot this. I'm the narrator.
All right, so I guess I should talk about the list I'm taking to Brawlers next then.
Absolutely.
Okay. So this is bad, but it's kind of based off the 7 dwarves.
Is that it? Only 7 dwarves? That'd be some expensive dwarves.
No, 7
All
things.
If they let me, I would do that.
You have 7 Thanes?
Yeah, because I challenged myself to see how many fire breaths I could fit into the army. So,
Wait, they
You
all
might do a lot better in this tournament than you think.
so here's what we're going with, okay? The screwed up part is I had to use Army Builder and change the names of the Thanes so that they would describe the models, so my opponents aren't going to get confused as hell with all these character models. So I've got the dwarf I've called Raised Hammer is my general. He's a Thane with Rune of Fury, Rune of Might, and Rune of Dragon's Breath. Plate Armor Shield, no big whoop. Then I've got my BSB, who is Holdstone, Plate Armor Shield, and a Talisman with Rune of the Forge, Rune of Shielding, Rune of Dragon's Breath. Then my White Cloak Thane is got Plate Armor and Shield, Rune of Shielding, Rune of Dragon's Breath. My Brown Robed Thane with a gun doesn't actually have a gun for stat-wise, but he's Plate Armor and Shield. He has the Rune of Infamy and the Rune of Dragon's Breath. Then I have a Shirtless Thane with a Great Weapon, who has the Rune of Retribution and a Rune of Dragon's Breath. A female Thane with Plate Armor and Shield with a Rune of Kinship and a Rune of Dragon's Breath, so she's going to ambush on with my miners.
Can I see this female dwarf model when you get a chance?
Yeah. I'll get it after I finish reading the list. Then I've got a Runic Smith with Plate Mail and Shield. He's got the Rune of Devouring and a Rune of the Forge and a Rune of Dragon's Breath. And then I've got Goldilocks, my Dragon Seeker, who is Monster Seeker set up with the Rune of Fury, Rune of Precision, and Rune of Smashing. So those are all my characters.
God, and then you've got like your core, and that's it, right?
No, actually, it's pretty good. I've got a 20-man of Greybeards with full command and a great weapon. I've got 10 clan marksmen with a musician and a shields. I've got 20 Greybeards with Vanguard, throwing weapons and shields. I've got 14 skirmishing, vanguarding Seekers with full command, I think. Yeah, full command. I got 20 Deep Watch with full command and the standard of swiftness. I've got 1 Steam Copter, 1 Rune-crafted Ballista, 10 Miners with great weapons and throwing weapons, 1 Grudge Buster, and 2 Vengeance Seekers.
You're going to do a lot better than what you think.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to see the bottom table once you start throwing games, man. I think they're going to be like, you have 7 Thanes? Yeah, I charge.
I'm very disappointed that since you went out of your way to name them, they're not named Sleepy, Bashful, Sneezy, and
See, the problem is I could do that, but I didn't really name them for my enjoyment. I named them so that my opponents won't have a fit and flip the table because they can't tell which one's which during the game.
I guess you'd have to name them all Grumpy as well, which wasn't really help.
That one's grumpy, that one's grumpy, that one's grumpy.
But the best part of this for me is the Grudge Buster that I'm bringing in is actually a birthday present from my wife. She took bits I had laying around and made me a Grudge Buster and is working on painting it. She's almost done. Of a rocket-powered flying train being driven by a pony with a giant rocket pack on his back. And for those of you, I don't know if anybody here ever saw my wife's channel, but she used to do commission painting and stuff, so she's really, really good at it. And it looks beautiful, and I'm going to be unveiling it at Brawlers, and I'm like super happy to go run a train on somebody.
Say that one more time, slower, and look into the mic or look into the camera.
I am ready to run a train on everyone.
Came off as less sexy and more scary.
Oh man, we've got the intro. I got to get that clip now. I'm ready to run a train on everyone. That's excellent. Oh, I'm going to talk to Blondebeer about this one, and we are going to put that on the Ninth Age channel in the intro.
There's one of the, I would say probably the second best dwarf player over here, runs a list which has got 4 breath weapons in it regularly. It's quite a funny list actually because he is what you'd expect that list to be. It is literally just a unit of Greybeards, pretty much. A unit of Deep Watch, 2 Copters, and then I think a unit of Miners, and that's pretty much the list.
Is that Hristo?
No, not Hristo. It's Terry. It's quite funny actually because almost a lot of his games he just loses the Copters, and that's it. And it's really funny at team events because there was like several games where he didn't lose any points. It's like, okay, let's add up the points at the end. Got 0, and that was just, and his opponent's like, wow, how have I got 0? I've killed nothing. Like, because he's got these big blocks that can't die. It's really funny.
I'm thinking at least to start off, fielding all of those characters except for the Slayer in the front rank and some of my Iron Breakers, and just be like, let's see what happens.
Well, you can like shoot them out, like Voltron them out at some point. And I don't know what Voltron is. People just say that. I'm too young for Voltron.
Yeah, you're only like 12.
Whoa. No, they have Voltron on YouTube. New episodes are out. My son and I sit down and watch them. You are not.
I know, but I haven't watched them.
I think your son is older than Jack.
Yeah, I mean,
James, here's the female dwarf. Can you guys see it?
A little bit.
I think she's one of the manic dwarves. Like, half to 3/4 of this army is manic. So that would make sense to me.
Yeah, I look forward to those battle reports because I think you're going to do a lot better than you think.
Really?
7 Thanes.
I really
yeah.
do.
Yeah.
I really think you're going to do a lot better than what you think. I mean, look, great weapons. I'm not sold on great weapons though because they always strike less. They're striking at the same time as stomps, which as a dwarf player, that's really one of our Achilles' heels is monsters and stomps. But then you've got your Vengeance Seeker and the Seekers. So all of a sudden, that's your monster killer, and then you're just going to run that up and run rampant. The sword and board with the Thanes in them. The only thing that you're really lacking is hatred in your list, but I think you'll be absolutely fine. You got a lot of weapons heal 5. You got shields. You have shield wall.
breath weapons don't roll to hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
It's going to be match dependent, isn't it? If you're playing elves, you're going to absolutely melt face. If you're playing anything low armor, you're going to melt face. But if you come up against Empire of Sun style 1-up armor cav list, it's going to not be good. So
I hope you run into an elf list and table it.
I do too.
Yeah, battle reporting.
The whole start of this army list came up from I was playing Michael, our normal elf player, and he's been just kicking my ass with Swordmasters lately. And so I dropped 3 breath weapons in my unit of Deep Watch and just ran right up in front of him. I'm like an inch in front of him, and he's like, "What are you going to do with that?" And I was like, "Shooting phase, 3 breath weapons." I came 1 short of maxing out on 6d6. The unit evaporated.
love it. I don't know, something Terry did at a team tournament we had. He was playing against a highborn elf player. He in order to like preserve points, because in the last turn he jumped his BSB out of the back of a spearman unit, thinking right he's safe now because his big block's going to charge the spearman unit. He won't get the BSB, all that stuff. But Terry instead just jumped all the characters out, triple marched them around the spear block, and unloaded 3 point-blank breath weapons onto this BSB and just incinerated him. Lone BSB, like 66 strength 4. It was so funny.
That's beautiful. But the great thing about that game, though, was it finally got Michael to agree not to field blocks of 30 Swordmasters anymore, so long as I agreed to have less than 3 breath weapons in the army.
7 breath weapons, dear God.
It's a narrative game, isn't it? So you've killed them all. There's no Swordmasters left for him.
No.
But he seems to kind of have switched to Lion's Guard now lately, if you've seen the last battle rep. So maybe that is. He's just like, they all melted. It's time to go.
Yeah. It's actually a dirty word to say in that elven town now. You want to be a swordmaster? No, I don't want to be a swordmaster. I want to be a potter.
It's a punishment now.
So how many of these things have like a beer mug in their hand?
Sad to say,
Almost
none
all.
of them.
Oh, come on, that'd be awesome. That'd be where the breath is coming from.
You know?
I was actually thinking of trying to paint a jalapeno on my banner for it and just go with that, but I'm not that skilled, so...
I can do it.
What's a jalapeno on each?
Yeah, it would be my jalapeno on a steak.
Perfect. Well, Mittierim, you've got a question from Goran Iron Fist. He's asking, why run miners with great weapons, not shields and hand weapons?
Because I've already turned my list in.
That's honest.
Even shields and hand weapons is probably not the best choice to go with. I think pistols is.
Yeah.
easily the
In
best
all
choice.
honesty, I don't
I
think
don't like pistols.
points-wise I could
You're
fit
wrong.
the pistol. Because I was thinking about the pistols, but I don't think I could fit them in point-wise without giving up a breath weapon, which I was unable to do, or unwilling to do.
Fair enough.
And for that matter, I'm using the GW models, and they all have big pickaxes, so I was like, why not?
Well, there you go. There you go, Goran. You got your answer.
If you were thinking of some deep tactical reason, no, you're asking the wrong dude.
Well, let's talk about this. Why do you think that pistols aren't good? And I'll tell you why you're wrong.
First off, I'm not wrong. It's my
I'm joking.
opinion. But I like survivability. And when they're already charging in their strength 5, you're only losing 5 attacks. But now I've got 1+ to my armor, so now it's 4 up, plus I have a ward save for shield wall. Okay, so if I'm going to turn around and march them up into the rear of the unit, especially if I'm going up against ogres, I have much more survivability. And, I'm only losing 5 attacks. I've just about the same amount of damage output, but because he's doing less wounds to me, I'm going to end up winning more combat res.
I would argue that you'd kill more things with those extra 5 attacks, and you wouldn't take those wounds.
Dice it out.
I don't know. I still think pistols are better. 'Cause more flexibility, I reckon. And going before Initiative 2 stuff is quite nice.
Well, it's what? How many points is it for a unit of miners? It's 5 points per unit of miners for pistols?
Yeah, 5 each, yeah.
Okay, versus 2
each
for
for the
shields
shields,
and
yeah.
4 for throwing weapons. So mine are kitted out with throwing weapons and shields.
So that's, what, 6 points total? Yeah, I would totally go for pistols. Pistols are cheaper, better offense, and better shooting?
No, that's what? AP1? Strength
Yeah, it's
4
on pistol.
AP1 versus Strength 4. Throwing weapons are Strength
Yeah, it's
4,
on
but you
pistol.
also
It's better.
have... I have an extra 10 shots.
Right? Which is, the maths works out, it's equivalent. Because you'll be hitting on 6s most of the time with throwing weapons, opposed to 5s or something.
But you always have that stand shoot ability. And you don't have...
Pistols are quick to
and you
fire,
don't
aren't
take any movement penalty for throwing weapons.
they? Pistols are quick to fire, aren't they?
Throwing weapons. Aren't they quick to fire?
I think throwing weapons are. I think pistols are as well.
Okay, never mind. But I'll still go with survivability.
No, that's absolutely. If you're going to use them for scoring, then it's absolutely a perfectly good reason. I don't know. It never occurred to me to do it that way with shields because I thought the opportunity to get strength 5 on the charge, and I just thought, just max out on those attacks. I thought it'd be really good. What do I know? I've only played like 2 games of Wars.
Your initiative.
What do you know? You're 12.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. What do I know?
Go watch Voltron. You'll see what I'm talking about.
Thundercock!
Thundercats. Haven't seen that either.
Pistols are quick to fire, just in case anybody was wondering.
All right, thank you. I was.
Yep, they are
There we
quick
go.
to fire. I've looked it up. It is affirmed.
Can I just keep saying Thundercock whenever the conversation gets stale for a second?
Oh yeah, no, that'd be good. Less awkward
Thundercock!
silences would be great.
You should just say it like randomly in the middle of someone's conversation, like they're explaining something else. And Thundercocks!
That's what I know.
What's going on? Chihammer has
Just now
Tourette's.
be our response. Anyone asks us anything.
There's medication for that.
No, I do that all the time to prevent awkward silences. It gets really weird when I do it at work, but when I do it at a tournament, it's
Oh
fine.
God, they must love you there.
It's when he does it at church, it really gets out of hand. I don't know.
Thundercock, ho! Oh, I'm so sorry, Father.
This is so boring. Thundercocks! All right, listen, you do it again, you gotta leave. The only guy in 9th Age that had been kicked out of a church. Oh. Yeah.
So,
Skip
guys are going
says,
to
Scoring. What's that? I'm never around long enough for scoring. I feel you, man. I don't even think about the scoring thing until about turn 7. So yeah.
Well, it's funny because a lot of my group thinks dwarves are OP.
I don't think dwarves are overpowered. I think dwarves have like a very specific. They're very resilient and reliable, but they trade for flexibility. Not a very flexible army. But
and I think that's kind of, and I mitigate a lot. I mean, I take the tools that go with my play style, which is the aggressive play style and everything else. So it's I do medium-sized units, so I'm not taking the big hunking units. So I really don't have flanks that they can try to get around. It's a question of styles. I
think as another thing that that Hurste said that I thought was really interesting is that dwarves are they have a lot of annoying rules. Like stuff that makes them feel overpowered, even though they're not. Like stuff that, like when your casting is harder and you're playing against them.
Yep.
Well, they all have thunderous charge, and they all don't take standard shoot penalties. All these little rules that you just forget about that are just kind of annoying to play against in a way. And people just, like it gives the feeling that they're more powerful than they are.
Yep.
They can take 7 breath weapons. It's just...
Well. Taking 7 breath weapons. Well, although granted, we're playing 6K. Once this tournament's over, my group's going back down to 4.5 and 5. Mostly 4.5. I don't know. It's I don't have any issues getting in my enemy deployment zone either. What, Mittierim, what about you?
My opponents don't tend to last till turn 6, so it doesn't ever really matter.
I love that attitude. That's
great.
I
I seriously don't mean that to sound like an arrogant ass. It's just kind of the status. I've actually had arguments with this with folks on my channel. I'm not a big believer in scenarios because for most of the games I play, they never matter. So for a long time we just weren't playing with them because it didn't really matter. We're trying to do it more because folks have requested it, but we still haven't had one that's mattered. So I'm kind of the wrong guy to ask about that.
We have objectives at 300 points each, and we both forget about them. Me and my opponents, we always forget about them until like turn 6, and it's like, it's really not going to matter because we've either ripped each other apart or, I guess, in a tournament, if it was not victory points but actual battle points, it would matter. Especially later on in the tournament, especially if you were at the top. You having 2 or 3 extra battle points just from objectives would be real useful. But in friendly games, just victory point based games, they've never made a difference.
Yeah.
For the most part, I think last year or about a year ago, most of the American tournaments were just like, here's 5 extra secondary bonus points you could get by doing something silly. Leaving your cheapest unit still on the table by turn 6, or get to the table quarters with flags and stuff. So it was a little bit different. So most of the time it was just people beating the shit out of each other in the middle, and then you're like, oh yeah, let me look at that paper. I can still do that, and just try to move you guys around.
Yeah.
It's strange because in Europe we've got like the opposite way around. There was a tournament in the UK not like a couple of weeks ago where there was no points, no VPs at all. It was all scenarios. And then I think there's another one in Denmark that's doing the same, just to try out.
So no victory points at all. You can only win by getting objectives.
Yeah, exactly.
See, now I've had some thoughts to do stuff like that for our narrative games, just to kind of throw some change in it and make certain things happen story-wise, but we haven't really gotten around to it yet.
See, I like the concept, but I'm with my imagination, I'm having here's my problem is these are unlike some of the other games, especially from companies that shall not be named and hopefully they burn. But let's take Privateer Press with War Machine. They're skirmish style games. There's all the other new games, they're all skirmish style. This is an army. So if you just only play okay, I need to hold the ground, I need to hold this hill. That's not, you just lost your entire army. You held the ground. What's that ancient Greek Roman Start with a P.
Proverb?
No, not. It was some type. It was pronounced. It was a specific style victory. So basically,
Pyrrhic.
you won the battle, but you lost the war. Okay, because he lost his entire army, and Rome just kept sending another legion at
Yeah,
him.
but you don't know if the people who held the ground held it for their army to come into round 7.
That's true. Maybe
Yeah,
they
I
held that
just-
beachhead.
Yeah, I understand where you're coming from because, like, if you have a situation where one person has pretty much just lost, like, say it's a highborn elf player and he's only scoring his 3 units of cavalry, the core cavalry. I can't remember their names off my head.
Silverhelm.
and that
Or
dies.
no, that's the old.
Yes,
name.
that's the old name. Yeah.
I'm sorry,
So,
I should be burned for that one.
So let's say he's just lost that, right? So he's got no scoring left, but he's got the rest of his army. He's got like everything, but he doesn't actually score, right? And then the opponent, all he's got left, say it's an Infernal Dwarf player, all he has left is a unit of 5 Tauroks, and holding the center. So he would win, even though he's got no army left. You know, even if that game went on one more turn, he'd have nothing left in there, but he'd still win. So I can understand that.
I knew it was coming. I saw him looking. I knew it was coming.
So I can understand the disjointed. What is it? Cognitive dissonance, I think is the word. I can understand that, but yeah, I can see both ways because advocates for it are like, well, literally it promotes like more crazy plays. Like, are you willing to make a crazy sacrifice of your general to get the objective or whatever, or whereas you wouldn't in a normal game? My argument is.
Sorry, go ahead.
I say my argument would be you don't want to lose the general. Why would the general sacrifice himself? That sounds stupid.
Challenge accepted. Hold my beer.
But the other thing that we touched about during our conversation with Warhammer was it mitigates your, if that's the style tournament you're going to take that style army. Like, so going down to Brawlers, I'm taking an army. Well, this is actually my everyday army, but if I was playing any of my other lists, or I would be playing an army that would be geared just for victory points. Because I don't have to care about if I lose anything. I want to make sure I take you with me and get as much as I can from you. So if all you're doing is playing objectives and he's scoring units, you start seeing skewed lists for that specific reason.
Nothing but core.
Ooh, that'd be rough.
List is a real thing. Like the MSU meta has developed. Perfect example is the Ogre Khan's list, the Hellfist list.
Yep.
Which I've talked about like 1,000 times on my podcast. It's ridiculous. I can just rattle it off the top of my head, and every bloody Ogre player can take it and safely get a 10 out of every game because it's more completely mindless.
Lord T, how do you feel about that list?
I don't like it. I don't like how the Hellfist works. I think they need to FAQ it that if the character that carries the Hellfist dies, you lose the Hellfist rule.
That'd be a good start.
I think it's.
I miss the Chaos Ogres. I'm just saying.
I do miss having the
I
Chaos
agree.
Marks. But I think I've heard rumors that once they get the Warriors of the Dark Gods gods all figured out and situated, other armies are going to be able to take marks again. So we might see a rehashing of it or whatever. Or...
So wait, the core for Warriors of the Dark Gods aren't going to be able to take marks, but other armies can? Can I call some bullshit on that preemptively?
From what I understood, no, it's not so much the core. There's a difference between followers and worshipers and stuff like that, and depending on whatever classification the unit is whether or not they're going to be able to take a mark. I'm not exactly sure how that's going to work, but the way I see it is for Warriors of the Dark Gods, it's going to be, chaff and wheat. You know what I mean? The ones that can't take marks are going to be your anvils, and the ones that can take marks are going to be your hammers.
What I picked up was that your units generally aren't going to have marks, but depending on like what general you have, it's going to effectively mark all your troops and from core. That's the idea that I picked up from post
That's
people.
what I got from that too. Kind of like how the Dark Elves work with their Nob and Yima.
Well, I mean, depending on what the benefit is and whether or not it goes away when your general dies, would be interesting. I don't know. I'm curious. I'm getting a Warriors of the Dark Gods army June, July timeframe. So I'll be able to play them for a little bit, and then everything will change, and so I'll be right there in the thick of it. So yeah, I'm not afraid to do a rant.
Paint that dragon green and call it the Green Dragon.
I want to call it Falcor so bad I can't even begin to tell you.
So cool. Wait, a Luck Dragon in Warriors of the Dark Gods army. That just doesn't sound right.
Yes, it does. It sounds perfectly right.
Works for me.
See, and we got the narrator here, so I know it's good.
See, that's actually my biggest issue with the idea of not everything in the Warriors of the Dark Gods being able to have marks, but other armies can. I was like, if you're not willing to give everybody who's actually fighting under your banner the extra power, what sense does it make to give other people who are not fighting under your banner and to your purposes that power?
That's a good question. I have no idea. I don't know exactly how everything's going to be worked out once it all is finalized as it is. And I'm willing to bet that even after everything is finalized, see that? Air quotes. That there's a change to it. Because no matter what happens, it could be the perfect system. There's going to be uproar. Because it's a major change.
Of course. I don't think the Ogre's ever going to get marks back.
Yeah, I would be hard-pressed to think they would.
I think the idea of having Chaos Ogres is a Warhammer Fantasy thing. I don't think it's going to be a 9th Age thing.
I don't know.
That's
I mean,
what I think.
I never used the marks anyway because I felt it made my guys too expensive. But I did like seeing them on the table every once in a while.
Oh yeah, there's a couple of guys that ran them that I knew, and they were great fun. They were really interesting. He was like more of a painter, more of a hobbyist. So he had all these great converted like Chaos Ogres, and they're really cool.
And you guys can still use them. You can still turn around and use those models and come up with fluff for that. So I think Tuna Sandwichify had a great point. If you have these awesome looking models, you have these things that are marked, use them. Okay, don't table them. Don't get upset about it.
Yeah, he did rage quit for like 6 months, and then eventually came back.
Who, Tuna?
No. The guy who I'm talking about that had a very pretty Chaos Ogre army.
There was a guy who made a Lust Ogre army that all the ogres had like gimp masks on and the freaking apples in their mouth and kebabs in their mouth, and they had like sheep and had like some guys with like assless chaps and stuff. It's freaking disturbing. It is so disturbing to see. But he has the whole ogre army Lust themed. That's just like perverted.
There's some really messed up army ideas out there, to be honest.
I don't know. I saw a high elf army that was all KKK once at a tournament. It was really bad. I looked at it and I was like, "What the hell is this?"
You think that's bad? I've seen pictures online of a Skaven army that's meant to be like the SS.
Oh, Jesus.
So, but it was like all the slaves were in like the pajamas from like concentration camps.
Yeah.
That was too much. I think that got banned from a tournament.
Yeah, the KKK army, once it was displayed, the tournament organizers were alerted to it. There was a big commotion, which is what caught my attention. I walked over to see what was going on, and I'm like, that's a lot of hate in one army, and those are supposed to be the good guys. And the tournament organizers were like, whose army is this? And they took the guy to the side, and before round one started, he wasn't playing. I don't remember him having a fit about it or anything like that. It was almost like he kind of expected it. He was such a little dude, too. Like, really small. Just like, dude, you got to be ready to fight if you're going to bring something like this. I know it's Texas, but still.
I don't know. Crap like that always makes me go, what were they thinking?
The people that do stuff like that, in my opinion, are working on the lower end of the IQ poll, and I think it's more of the shock value thing. Look what I can do. This is the same people that like wrap themselves up in fireworks and record themselves lighting them off for their 15 minutes of fame. It's like
that's called Darwinism and birth control.
Yeah, I'm fine with all of it.
Or starting their armies on fire.
I didn't burn my army.
It was on your channel.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. But anybody who watches my channel and knows me knows that I would never play elves because I'm racist. No, never play an elf army. Never. I actually had somebody offer to buy, paint, and give me a Dread Elf army just so that there would be a Dread Elf player on YouTube, and I've turned it down. So that's how deep my elf racism goes.
How about if I make you like one? How about if I make you like one elf, okay? And you have to use it in your Scrabblings.
So
I don't know how I feel about that.
so just for the record, in case that person is still on, if anybody wants to buy, assemble, and paint me a Dread Elf's army, I will play it.
Can I get this guy's number? Could you
Hey, if he's here. Well, I don't want to say who it was or anything like that because I don't have permission to use their name. But no, I won't say who it is.
Just slowly redirect him to my Patreon, and I'll take it from there. How about that?
How about this? How about somebody send me a Dread Elf army and I'll burn it?
I don't care what anybody says. My buddy burning his army and putting it on the channel was awesome. It was a once-in-a-lifetime thing, and I have no regrets.
That's what got me to start watching your channel, because I had no idea who the hell you were. No idea.
The thing about it is it's not the first thing we ever burned. I mean, it really seemed...
But it's a matter of scale, man. I mean, burning dice is one thing. Burning a freaking full army, that's an entirely different level of awesome that you have to pay attention to.
So, see, to me, it wasn't awesome. I was like, why? I'll take that off you. I'll buy that from you.
Because the guy that owned it, it was Death Holy Death. He burned it, and he was upset about the change, obviously, and he was done. He was done with rank and file games. He went and played. He's playing a different game now. Believe it or not, he owns his own game store now. And he's doing just fine. But he was done with rank and file. He was done with that army. He kept some models out of it that meant something to him, that were, sentimental to him. And the rest, he said he was going to burn. And believe it or not, I did try to talk him out of it. I was like, why don't you try selling it? Yada, yada, yada. He doesn't need the money. Hey, he didn't care. He didn't want anybody else to have it. He's also selfish. And he's like, I'm going to burn it. And I was like, well, if you're really going to do this, I want to record it. And I'm going to put it on my channel because I think my viewers would get a kick out of that. I honestly thought it'd be seen 1,000 times and that'd be it. I did not think it was going to have the response that it did. And, I still every once in a while get messages on YouTube about that because I cut off comments, and there's still some people that are like, "How could you burn your army?" It's like, I didn't. Just stop.
No, in all honesty, like when I started playing the 9th Age here and I started doing content, I think Pink Taco was the first person to say, "Hey, why don't you be on the content team?" And then I think Once Bitten said it to me, but Once Bitten didn't know my War Boss Tooth name was me, Chihammer. You know what I mean? So he thought it was two different people. It confused the hell out of him in the beginning. Anyways, but so I was on there for like, I don't know, like maybe 6 months or 8 months before I saw Lord Tremendous come there. Everybody's like, Lord Tremendous is back. And they go, and I've never watched Lord Tremendous' stuff before then. And I was just like, hey, aren't you the guy who burned your army? That was like the first thing I said to him.
And the rest is history.
Well, I get that. If you've never seen my channel before, I get why you would think that. I totally do, and I don't have a problem with correcting people the first time. But when I hear people start off with, "I've watched your battle report since the beginning, and I can't believe you burned my army," you're a liar, and you're not watching my channel. Because anybody who watches 3 of my videos knows I don't like elves at all.
That's why you burned them. That's why you took a video of them being burned.
Oh, I would. Don't get me wrong. I would burn them. I would burn Thundercocks. Yes.
Thundercock ho.
I would burn them, no problem. The only thing is, the last time I burned anything of my own was the books and stuff like that, and the wife gave me an ultimatum. And if you've noticed, I haven't burned anything else.
Why do you burn so many things? Why do you feel the need to do this?
I like fire.
Nobody else.
I've got fire issues. I don't know if you've watched my channel, buddy, but yeah, I've got issues. Like National Graphic, a lot.
But you still don't play pyromancy.
I'm playing Thaumaturgy, which is close.
No, it's not.
better as
It's
well.
when the Wrath of Gods hits the damn table and blows up my opponent's army. That's gotta leave some fire. I gotta imagine there's some fire. Hell, my logo, my intro video is on fire. So
I don't even have a logo.
I offered to buy you one, and you never responded.
I know.
You're like the stubborn girlfriend that's friend zoned me. You know that, right?
Is that why my name wasn't on the invite list?
No, I don't know how the hell that happened.
Oh yeah, I don't know how. Stubborn girlfriend.
Yeah, see, this is me getting friend zoned by Chihammer. This is fucked up.
Dude, you've wounded him. You've scarred him deeply.
It does. It hurts right there where my heart should be.
It doesn't hurt shit. I wasn't invited to like 5 of these.
So I've got a question about your tournaments you're going to.
Okay.
Since you guys are in the majority with the events you're going to, no one really gives a shit about my events that I'm going to right now. So I have a question. What armies are you guys afraid of seeing at these events? What do you not want to play against?
Not.
Oh god,
Okay.
I don't care what I play against. I like playing against everything. Honestly, the only thing I wouldn't want to play against, and by saying that, I wouldn't be like, oh fuck, I gotta play against this army. It would just be like, I don't like mirror matches. I wouldn't want to play against another ogre army. But if I do, as long as the dude is cool, I'm gonna have a blast.
Go ahead.
No. You go first.
I didn't want to play Jeremy Gottschalk's Blunder. Did you say Thundercock now?
I brought upon you.
I didn't want to play the freaking the Demon Legion's Wrath list.
That was the one list that beat me.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, I just played Jeremy Gottschalk on UB right now, like right before this started.
So is there no particular race that you guys like fear or anything like that? It's not necessarily like you think you're gonna have a bad game, but like something hard to deal with.
For me, it's Kingdoms of Aquitaine. I'm not looking for the combination of giant piles of peasants plus 2-up armor saves I don't really have an answer to.
Well, don't worry. The giant pile of peasants, they don't have any knights.
Oh, well then that's better, I guess.
It's really funny. I love playing against the peasant Aquitaine list because when I'm playing with my skeleton block, I'm like 12 ranks deep, right? So their whole thing is they're relying on steadfast. So I just beat them at their own game. They're like, I've put 100 peasants down the board. I'm like, well, I've got 120 skeletons. And I'm hitting your...
And look, I threw more.
And so they just corner, and then I just overwhelm everything with a tide of skeletons. It's great.
I don't like Sylvan Elves. I just don't like the avoidance lists that I'm just like fucking looking at nothing.
That's interesting, actually. Sylvan Elves. Let's go on a tangent because I know you guys like to do that here. So,
What? Squirrel?
So Sylvan Elves. Have you noticed them being more combat orientated than they used to be now,
Yes.
and less avoidance?
Yeah. Well, I'm talking specifically avoidance list.
Saurian Ancients is like a big avoidance list right now, I guess.
Yeah, I'm used to playing Len though, and Len always plays Lizardmen on me, so like I kind of like I'm used to it.
What's this Saurian avoidance list? Don't you just take your dinosaurs and shove them down people's throats? Because that's kind of how I do that.
That's how you avoid with a Sauron list. You just stick the dinosaurs in there, and everybody tries to avoid them.
Oh, okay. I understand now. Gotcha.
We've
Yeah,
got three like main Lizardman players. Well, Saurian Ancient players. Drink, I guess. 3 Saurian Ancient players in the UK, and they all run pretty much the same thing. And well, 4. We got 4, and all running like 4 units of skirmishing poison skinks, units of 2 spearbacks, and then like a couple units of 10 Saurus warriors with shields. And it's just horrible. I hate it. So I hate playing. That's my bugbear army right there. Those flipping Saurian Ancients. I hate them so much. I wish I had 7 breath weapons. That'll get rid of those bloody skinks real damn quick.
See, that's what he's gonna find. He's gonna like, I made a funny 7 dwarfs list, and then he's gonna take first or second place at this tournament and be like, this is the list I'm always using from now on. Bring all the sword masters you want.
If you got 7 breath weapons, you can put 2 breath weapons in each skirmishing unit and take them all off.
Walk them right out of the unit, towards wherever you got to put them, and then shooting phase. What's going on? You don't have any war machines. Don't need them. All these guys have been drinking.
Avoid this.
Avoid this, you little bastards.
So for me, it's beast herds and ogres. Those are the two armies that I will sit there with my dwarves, and it's not that I think I'm ever out of the game. It's just I have to think that much more about what I'm going to do and forgiving, and that's because of the style armies that they are.
They're really strong armies. They're really good like that.
Yep.
Just so it's hard to say what's about this. I think it's really army just does so much. Like it's really frustrating, particularly the beasts. You get so much for your points with the beasts.
Mm-hmm.
It's just crazy.
That primal fury, that really.
What, nobody likes?
Oh my!
Nobody's not afraid of orcs and goblins, or what?
Nah, no one's afraid of orcs and goblins.
Not with the dwarves.
I hope I
at
get a chance to play some orcs and goblins actually, because I don't get to play them around here, because my wife won't start playing 9th Age again.
I'm up for you right now.
Orcs. Don't put anyone through playing orcs. Orcs are terrible.
They are terrible.
Oh, I think Wargaming from the Balcony changed his list. This is probably the first time I think he's going to a tournament that he's not playing orcs and goblins.
He's going VC, isn't he?
Yep. Gene is doing VC. I'm disappointed in him. So, Lord T, you still have yet to answer half of these questions. And
I answered the question. I answered the question first. I don't want to run into another ogre team because I don't like mirror matches. But other than that, I don't go to these tournaments thinking I'm going to be at the top table. If I do end up at the top table, I'm probably talking to the two guys playing at that table. I'm not actually there.
He just doesn't struggle with any armies. He's just better than the rest of us. He just doesn't actually struggle with anything. That's why.
Oh, no, I struggle against somebody with high armor. If you're asking what armies I'm going to struggle against, anybody with high armor. If it's a 2-up or better, yeah, I'm screwed. I have no answer to armor.
Actually, I kind of agree. I'm bringing Michael, our high elf player, is going down with me, and I just hope and pray I don't have to play him, because a lot of what he's bringing are those freaking elf knights with the 2-up ward save against fire.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like, all my Thanes are worthless, and I have no answer to high armor. Yeah, I'm just screwed.
You have great weapons.
Yeah,
How's
but
he
he'll
going to
kill me
reach
before I get to swing.
elven cavalry with movement 3 dwarves?
That's what you hope for Shield Wall to work out for you, I guess.
Actually, the only way that works is I pick the dwarves up from the table and hurl them at my opponent's face hard enough to knock him out.
Yes, we're doing this now.
Yes, that's something that they got to put into the rules. Where if you get a big heavy metal model and you can knock your opponent out with it in one hit, you win.
I'm telling you, I said it in my last battle report. My my black orc block is all metal black orcs, and there's like 30-something of them in the tray with a metal tray. I picked it up. It was a hold the center scenario. I put it on the center, and I was like, "Ooh."
Thump! I dare you.
That's what I'm like with the skeletons. I get that unit so huge that literally people can't contest it because I'm taking up so much board space. And that's how I win hold the center. No one likes to play me.
Freaking Thundercock.
What a cock.
Yep, I get that a lot.
So what about you, Thundercock? What do you fear?
It's definitely the Saurian Ancients. I hate those guys. They're just horribly obnoxious to play because they're just stupid and overpowered, and I hate them. No, but
Tell me, I feel like we need a couch for you now.
They're not overpowered. You just need people to be able to man up enough to leave the skinks at home, and then they're fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's the combination of the poison skinks, the complete safety that cold-blooded provides, and everything else. It just makes them really hard to deal with, hard to get points out of. And then obviously there's the really, really annoying cowboys, the Saurian warlords and veterans running around. They're just an absolute nightmare to deal with, because you generally don't have because they're so polarizing, right? It's the theme of the army is that skinks do one thing. Everything is specialized to do one thing really well. So, which necessitates you having to have specialized tools to deal with them. For example, 7 breath weapons will do a real good job of taking off those skinks. Completely useless against the Saurian cowboys, though. So it's one of those things where it's really hard, especially when you're playing at 4,500 points now, where you struggle to get everything you want in a list as it is. I mean, I know James was saying this earlier, like you're never happy with a list, right? Well, if you're playing against Saurian Ancients, you're not happy, and you still, even if you had 5k points, you probably struggle to get everything you want in to help you deal with all the Saurian Ancients nonsense that they bring.
I find that really funny that you're kind of that worried about the Saurian Ancients, because I spend a little bit of time on the Saurian Ancient forums, and you would have thought by hearing those people talk that they're getting beaten up by orphans and choir boys every game.
Orphans and choir boys! I love it!
I mean, here's the thing, right? There's 3 forums that were notorious for complaining, right? Highborn elves, dwarves came up real fast on their heels, and then the Saurian Ancients. They all like to complain really loudly. Those guys, and the Saurian Ancient players, they just don't know what they're talking about. They just don't know it. So.
I can't hear them.
Yeah, I think there's something up with your mic.
Every once in a while it cuts out. You get quiet.
Yeah. So the only thing I want to say
Not
is
really, no.
People do not associate me with the dwarf forums. I am Sir MC 2015. I'm the one like going, what the hell you guys all talking about? This is what's going on. Don't associate me with that whining crap.
I just want you guys to know.
Talking on the dwarf forums after that last whole big explosion between tournament and fluffy players.
Oh
and
my
I was
God,
just like, I
that
need to
pissed me
step
off.
back or someone's going to hurt me.
No, that really I turned around after that whole thing, and I remember Lord T got involved, and I actually PM'd a couple people. I was pretty heated about that.
Fucking casuals.
Don't you start. Me and the Fluff Masters will come down here and kick your ass.
Not in a tournament setting, you wouldn't. What?
Dude, I think I will forego brawlers, drive out to Adepticon, and swap out your army for an army and elves and say, "Here you go."
I will. I don't know what I'd do. I will cry in public. And we're talking snot bubbles, the hiccups. I will cry so hard your heart will break. So there, you want to play that game? Think I won't cry in public. I got no pride.
You think my heart will break?
It will. I think anybody who would touch an elf has got some sort of feels, and I will find them.
Dude, it'll be a bad touch. That's all I can say. All right.
All the bad touching. I will show you videos of puppies and kittens while I'm bawling, just upset, just in fetal position. Just, I want my ogres. And you'll be like, I have miscalculated. He told me he was going to do this on Square Table, and I feel bad. He's ruined my day.
You know, it'll no longer be the square table talk. It'll be the circle table.
That's right. No, round bases are for pussies, so no.
He said pussy. Thundercock!
Thundercocks!
I was just gonna say, I'm the guy in the forum who creates stuff like this with freaking boars chasing poodle.
Yes, he is.
How many units of Tuskers are you using in your ogre army?
I've got a unit of 3 with great weapons and a banner with war standard.
You should have all the Tuskers.
Yeah, I want more Tuskers. I do, but at the same time, I'd have to drop stuff that I like. Otherwise, I don't play like the smart tactical army. I find units that I like and I stick with them. I like monsters, so I have a Rock and a Frost Mammoth.
I'll tell you what you really like: winning. That's
Overrated.
I've tried it. I've won some games. I've won some games, and it's enjoyable. But I have to do it on my terms. And if I lose, as long as I'm playing with the models that I like, I'm good.
Have you done any battle reports of these wins? Because I haven't seen them.
You don't watch my channel. You think I play elves? The one I just posted yesterday, I won. So there. In fact, I think the last 3.
Wait, didn't you only have like one model left, and was that your teammate?
No, in the team game we won, it was our opponents that only had 1 left. My opponent only had his BSB, I think, left. He was fleeing at the end of the game. That was a close game, though. That was tough.
That looked like a lot of fun.
Oh, man, it was. I enjoyed the hell out of that.
The reason I brought the Tuskers up was because I don't know if any of you guys listen to any podcasts, whatever, but it was a question that was posed to my podcast and the Slanrat podcast of what unit you want to add to your army. If you could add any unit to your army, what would it be? And here's the thing, it's really hard to say something that isn't Tuskers, because Tuskers are just like the best monstrous cav ever.
They are.
Like, if you could add any unit to your dwarf army, it'd probably be Tuskers. Let's be honest.
You know what? No, I want dwarves on bears.
I want dwarven bear cavalry.
People,
I want that so bad, and I don't even play dwarves.
Hold on, I want dwarves on bears, but here's the thing: is I only want them movement 5. I don't want true cavalry. I want those models with those rules. Like, I want a different style Whole Guardian, and with Swift Stride, because I don't really care about the extra movement. I care about that special generic rule. I'd love to have something also in the dwarf army that has the fast cav style rule where you flee, you survive, you can then move after that. Okay, if you rally. Okay.
The only thing I want to add to the dwarf army are miners that come on the board like the Tomb King's ambusher guys. They just kind of dig
that would
up.
be cool. Yeah.
I could take or leave Tuskers.
I want to see dwarven bear cav more than anything.
Yeah.
I can't believe I'm in a chat with these people who want bear cav. You're the bear cav people. Oh.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
I am one of them. I'm sorry, you're stuck in the mud.
Yeah. Of course I'm stuck in the mud with my feet, where dwarf feet belong.
Yeah.
Right.
So.
I'm not a believer in bear calves, so Jack, I'm on your side there. Although I am considering getting one of the Cybor dwarf kings on like the mountain goat to stand in as my
the war throne.
My throne, yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking of doing that for shield bearers. Because I've been planning a dwarf army, like a joint infernal dwarf, regular dwarf army, for some time. The problem is, like, the nature of my work, you have to spend all my money on computer parts, which are quite expensive, as it turns out.
Go figure.
See, I went with my shield bearers the laziest possible way. I glued 2 magic dwarves back to back and put a magnet on their head. That's it. Done.
Well, to defend myself, part of the reason I want bear cavalry is I've had these models now for God knows how long. Hold on.
I would have thought that you could just use
For the record, I just want usable units.
Shut up, orc! We know!
You'll take your 20-man savage orc biggins and you'll like it. You'll be happy for him.
Yeah, I've seen some of the conversations about what's going on with the orcs and goblins, and if it helps at all, there's been a handful of people who are no longer in charge of the orc and goblin army books, so...
Is that how it works on the 9th Age rulebook team then? You did a bad job, you will be purged.
I don't think they were purged, I think they quit, you know what I mean? They were like, I think...
They were
quit on purpose. They were like, let's fuck up the rules and I'm out. Peace.
I think it was more along the lines of, look what we've done to this book, it's amazing, everyone's gonna love us, and then the feedback was, kill their children! And they were like, fuck this, we're out.
It's probably my fault.
Yeah, we're done. We're not doing this anymore. Clearly, this was a mistake.
Look, it's probably my fault that people want to kill their children.
Yeah. There was more death threats about that than there was about the army burning. So
why are the orcs bad then?
Why are the orcs bad?
Yeah, I want to hear it from you, from an orc player, because I've heard it from Alex, and Alex is stubbornly sticking to them.
No, I'm sticking to them too. I'm not going to give up. I'm fucking painting 100 goblins right now. All right. I'm trying to figure out.
They're bad.
When I spend like 400 or 500 points on freaking on special boar boys that don't do shit compared to 3 Tuskers or even 2 Tuskers.
Tuskers, yeah, I told you, man.
I'm just saying. Well,
In all honesty, let me ask you an honest question, James.
Yeah.
Have the Boar Boys ever been good in any iteration of the game ever?
No.
I mean, I'm the narrative guy, and I know they suck. So, I mean, what's up?
In all fairness, I've always just tried to use them as a character delivery system. You put a character with a nice weapon on it, and I always used to use Gorbad, so that way I could just go in and do, 4 hits, AP 6, D3 wounds, and always strikes first. That's just disgusting. But he would lose to combat risk because everybody just kills the Boar Boys. So,
Yep.
but there used to be this especially back in the earlier stages of the 9th Age, where the core there used to be so many options in core that it was actually like, how many different ways can you make your core? You could give a small unit of orcs with crossbows, 10, 12, not that many that's a point.
Yeah. You could have 40 big uns, or you could have 40 big uns, or you could have 40 big uns.
No, and it used to be 50, then it used to be 40, and when it was 40, it still is a little up there. 35, I think, is the right number, but they don't ever agree on that. They're like, oh, here's 40, yeah, here's 30, and when you drop to 30, you got freaking 30. Yeah, they're nice core, but they die really fast. They're butt naked. Yeah, they have a 6-up ward. Whoop de frickin' do. What does that do?
I mean, in fairness, they are better than most special choices for a lot of other armies. But I think you're right. I think 35 is probably the right number for them.
Yeah, they used to have the Force Goblins with the poison shooting. They nerfed that right away.
Yeah.
But I mean, again, it's freaking 12-inch tomahawks. 12 inches. Like, seriously. You know what I mean? With 20. You had to buy 20 freaking Forest Goblins. I made a tray. Look how obnoxious this tray is. This tray is fucking huge. Alright? This is probably a normal 20-man goblin size tray right here. This is a 24 goblin tray. All right.
It's funny. There's back when end times in 8th edition was a thing. There was a guy on the tournament scene who was like legendary for his like wacky builds, and he had this build where he had the incarnate Grimgor, and he had like 40 like crossbow boys, right? But he had them he had them too deep, so he had them as wide as possible. So he had a movement tray that was like 20 wide or 30 wide or something, and so he'd pick it up and it was like bow in the middle. That was the bullet.
The fact that they took out the core chaff, but I think everybody got their core chaff knit, but still, even that's annoying because it's like, what are you going to spend your core points on? Well, I got goblins, and orcs and shittier orcs. What do I want? And then when you go to the special and whatever, it's like, okay, well, I buy, a couple characters, a couple spiders, and all of a sudden that's my points. And everybody has answers to spiders, so I even started thinking about not bringing spiders.
No, bring spiders. Spiders are good.
I love spiders, I do, but it's just like everybody has an answer.
Of course, yeah. Monsters are common, I guess. Everyone brings the tools to deal with them.
Yep.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's not just against your spiders, it's against monsters in general.
Exactly.
I have to have answers for monsters.
Yeah.
But that's why I'm trying to make lists that don't bring monsters anymore. Just because it's like, well, what else can you do?
Start bringing 3 big green idols. Come on.
I want to see 3 spiders on the table.
That's it. I'm gonna take a green idol just so I can throw shamanism plus toughness spell on it and be like, go ahead and cannon it.
We don't need to go back to 3 spiders. I remember when 0.99 was a thing, and Alex used to do this. My co-host in the podcast did this. He would have like a wizard, like a big wizard on a spider, 2 rare spiders, and then the BSB idol, which had like a 2-up, 5-up, and he would just like run that, and it was bloody unstoppable. It was so many wounds of spider, and it's horrible.
Terror checks everywhere. Yeah,
I don't care about terror checks. But,
well, no, of course you don't. Sorry, not everybody can just end their pulse to win a game. In fact, for the rest of us, when our pulses go, we lose the game. So.
They just shake it off.
It's funny. I laugh at the people casting the evocation trait at me. I laugh at them.
That's actually really funny. Why? What does it matter?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, go ahead. Minus my leadership. What do I care? I'm already leadership 2 anyway. Who cares?
I'm saying you're already leadership too.
I'm going to use Thaumaturgy to make sure he can't use Inspiring Presence. I think that'll be useful.
That's annoying, though, because then I can't march.
Perfect.
Thank you for telling me that.
I didn't realize that actually would stop you from marching, but yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
So cool.
I think the biggest thing is goblin magic and orc magic. You losing the rerolls to hit, losing the armor piercing, losing the poison, losing stuff like that. That just destroyed orcs and goblins.
Yeah. I think those were the scariest things with the army was the synergy that you got with, especially with the magic that they had.
Oh yeah, I think it's definitely lacking in synergy right now. The best you got is the idol, and even then, that's not great. I think there's a lot that needs to be desired. It's very unreliable with the leadership issues. I mean, yeah, you can have everything that's immune to psych, but immune to psych is a double-edged sword to begin with.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it is. You can't. Right now, I'm running the guy with the Axe of the Apocalypse, and I'm not taking him on a black orc or a feral orc just because I want that ability to flee if I need to.
yeah,
You know.
yeah.
That's why I don't feel graybeards, because I like to be able to flee.
It's very dwarfy of you.
Thundercock!
For elves.
Thundercocks.
So what are you guys hoping to run into at your at the tournaments? Like if you had the ideal army to go up against, which would that be?
Guy who hands me a beer.
Lord Tremendous.
Yes! Good answer! Chihammer wins. I don't care about the rest of your answers now.
No, more tremendous. It's absolutely. I want to play you. Come down to Brawlers.
Hey, I'd be thrilled to throw you a win. That'll be a lot of fun, but you buy the beer.
I'll buy the beer.
I don't even drink. No, I got to go to Adepticon. I've already paid, and I paid a lot. So, and from what I understand, there is no refunds at this point, which I kind of understand. Plus, I want to get my swag bag. I heard that the swag bag at Adepticon's good, so I want to get that too.
Surely everyone who's on the content team has to lose to you, LT. Otherwise, we're not on the content team anymore. Because I played. It wasn't me. We played, but
I think if you lose to him, he'll never let you live it down.
Yeah, that's
Oh
true.
no, there will be all the taunting.
Oh my god, it would be on the channel for a full year. Dude, Green Dragons Gaming, I beat you. Here's the model that did it. And here's our battle report for the day.
No, what I plan to do is whenever I beat somebody else who's got a YouTube channel or on the content team or something like that, I plan on getting a model from their army that they were playing at the time. So, for example, if I beat Thundercocks and in a game, I would find an undead model and I'd hang it from my display board with the score, the date, and their name on there.
So, I know I talk about him a lot on my channel, but Jake motherfucking Murphy, he always wears, and no matter when you see him, he always wears a red hat. It's a different red hat, or it's the same red hat. I don't know. Okay, but on my board, I actually want to put one banner that just has a red hat and it's like crossed off.
You need to add like an extra tally mark for every time you beat him.
There you go. That's a good idea.
It was like once.
Well, there you go.
But it was on YouTube.
No, twice. Okay.
So where is Adepticon held? I don't really know anything about
Okay.
American tournaments.
So there's Chicago, which is a major city, and then right where the major airport is O'Hare, which is everybody who comes to Chicago goes to O'Hare Airport. Adepticon is right by there, but it's not necessarily Chicago.
Right. So it's okay. So it's in Chicago. Okay.
Yeah, it's like a suburb of Chicago, Schaumburg.
Mhm.
Okay, that's cool. Because I always want to
actually
come to the States for a tournament at some point. It's something that I want to do. Because I'm willing to travel for tournaments. I've been,
Well, in all honesty, I've been to a lot of tournaments, and Adepticon's pretty freaking big, man. It has It's more than just the obviously the fantasy tournament. I mean, they have like all tournaments from all different games going on. They have a ton of vendors. I mean, this is like the one tournament that I've gone to 2 years. This is my third year going. That it's like a full event. Like there's like painting classes. There's like freaking all these things going on in other rooms. With like you just meet people who do all the different things for different communities of different parts of every game.
So.
Yeah, it's a con. It is. It's huge.
It's funny because when I was still in secondary school, like 15-year-old me, I used to listen to 40K podcasts and stuff, and hear about all these people like traveling to like Adepticon for 40K and stuff like that. And I always wanted to go, so I would like to go to like Adepticon or one of the other really big US tournaments at some point.
And then the other biggest, I think the biggest one like is honestly Buckeye Battles, but that's for like fantasy specifically because they had like 100 people at it last year, and I think they get 100 people every year, to be honest.
I think last year was the biggest one, if I remember listening to the podcast correctly. So last year was the largest one that they ever had.
Yeah, it was huge.
100 players. That's a ton. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a lot. Yeah.
So,
I mean, we get a lot of we can regularly run like 60-man events here in the UK, but we don't get more than that. 60-man is like
60-man's a good turnout too, though.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, we have regular like 40-man plus, and then 60-man like at least 4 times a year.
Every time I look at the boards, everyone's like, it's less than 30 people. That's not a real tournament. I'm like, F you.
Yeah. I'm thrilled if I can get 10 to show up at a local game, a local gaming event, and just a one day. 30, that would be like heaven.
Well, the really big tournaments are always like an experience unto themselves. Like we have a lot of gaming centers here in the UK. Like there's the 3 big ones: Wayland Games, Element Games, and Firestorm Games. And they're basically just giant warehouses that are exclusively for gaming events, effectively. All of them have bars as well. I was like, you were amazed there was a bar earlier. I say that's pretty much standard for here in the UK. And then you have like 120 tables out in these giant places. So I don't know if you have any like dedicated gaming centers in the US, or if it's all in like hotels and whatnot, or I don't know what the deal is over there.
For the most part, I think it gets split around. I've seen most of them I've gone to in the Midwest, at least. They're in hotels, but then a lot of them have been in gaming stores. I know Atomic Empire Brawlers is in a store.
It's a huge store, though.
It is.
It is a huge store. Out this way, it depends on the size. I mean, I was at Battle Cry that had roughly 30 people. That was in a store. I'll be throwing one in the store. If it gets bigger than that, then you're in a hotel. Okay. Convention center. Like we have Mechanicon down here for 40K tournaments. That's usually in a hotel that's run by a gentleman named Tony. So it really depends.
Did he call it TonyCon?
No, he did not call it TonyCon. The gentleman who runs it, his name is Tony. Real nice guy.
You should call it TonyCon. That would be cool.
That'd be awesome.
That's where I want to be in my life. I want to get to the point where I have my own convention.
Yeah. It's like Stan Lee, man.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's how you know you've made it in wargaming, isn't it? You have your own convention.
We want to do one down here, but there's just not enough interest in the South yet. We're working on it, slowly but surely, but yeah, maybe in a few years.
That's like us up here in the Northeast. I mean, you got a group up in Massachusetts, Connecticut area, and then you've got me out here in Pennsylvania. I think I've heard rumors that there's a group out in Pittsburgh. That's over 5 hours away. Oof. So I'll be playing more with the Virginia guys. I'm going out to that tournament out in Virginia because they're a hell of a lot closer, and I know them, and they're a great group to play with.
Whose bright idea was it to make a country so huge?
Founding fathers.
As I understand, the Indians. What do I know? I'm Mexican.
I thought you said you were a Cuban.
No, the other trainer's Cuban.
I know.
It all just melts together, right? It's all the same thing, right?
Well,
I don't know.
America is the melting pot. It's supposed
Just
to
an
be.
ugly American white guy. So I have no rights and I'm a racist. That's all I know. That's what the internet has taught me. I'm a racist,
Yeah.
bigot, fascist, and that's all I know. And it's my fault.
You have, You have no rights, and you have no right to anything, but yet you have the most rights.
I have no rights. I shouldn't voice my opinion. Yet I have all the privileges, all of them, and that's good to know. That's soul searching stuff right there, and I appreciate it.
Thundercock.
Thundercock.
But in an attempt to get us vaguely back on topic,
Oh, good. I'm glad someone's trying.
I don't remember what we were doing.
for me, I think that the armies I want to see the most, I'd love to play orcs and goblins because I don't get the chance to. I'd actually like to play against lizards. Again, because I'm the only lizard player in our group, so it's mainly just stuff I don't get to play usually. I don't care if I win against it or not. I want to play something different. So anything but beastmen, high elves, and sylvans, I guess.
One of my first things I ever tried to do on my channel, and it was kind of like an unsaid thing, was I just wanted to play at least one of every race once and have it on YouTube. You know? So,
Well, once we're done this tournament, we go back to like normal life because my wife's due at the end of April, so it's so my tournament play is going to go downhill real quick.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It sounds like a pansy excuse like Tuna gave for why he's not going to be at Brawlers. I think
He's got triplets. What more excuse do you need?
No, that's Skaven AZ.
That's
That's
Skaven.
Skaven.
That's Skaven. That's Skaven. My bad. Yeah. I'm sorry, but newborns, especially when they come in multiples, when you got to do math to figure out how many there are, no, you got to pass. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No. He's got a toddler and an infant. So that's almost as bad as having multiples. Almost as bad.
I've got a 13-year-old and a 9-year-old, and I had to kill a guy in order to go to Adepticon. Okay, so no, I get it.
I'm just giving him a hard time. I missed hanging out with him last Brawlers because I was in the middle of my rage quit, and so now that I get to go back and he's not going to be there, so I just got to give him some shit.
Well, I think he's going to be at that one-day tournament. The one on April 8th. I think he's going to be there. Once he wants to play me again.
We've got a question, just to totally jump in and be rude.
Thank God.
We got a question from Skip the Gaming Geek. He goes,
Hi, Skip.
yeah, he wants to know what the scariest monster to face on the board is.
The one that's still alive.
Yeah.
my brother's dice.
I have an actual answer.
Go for it.
Courtesan of Lust.
Why?
Yeah.
Because it's like got 10s across his stat line, and supernatural reflexes, and it kills everything, and it has a 5-up ward save.
Yeah.
That's horrible. Especially if you take the Heartseeker sword. You'll have like 6 stacks, hitting on 2s, rerolling 1s, with strength 6, armor piercing, and it's a nightmare. It's horrible to deal with. And it's movement 10! Movement 10 with Swift Stride! It gets everywhere, and just kills everything.
I was going to say something similar. I was going to say Scourge of Wrath because I don't have any answer to it. But pretty much any demon, like Lord level demon.
Yeah, that's
even
Scourge of Wrath ate my army.
Even the Weaver of Changes is horrible because if you take that wand on him, it gives him +1 attack for every spell he casts. You can get to like 10 attacks.
It doesn't even hurt, Todd. It was like feathers.
Zod died your last game.
He held in there for a round.
I didn't.
Zod didn't. It was your BSB that died, right?
Oh, it was another guy. It was the guy with the axe of the apocalypse.
It was Paco, right?
I thought you lost your general last game.
Yeah, but no. I ended up having to put Zod back in because Zod doesn't die. That axe dude did die.
He's not dead. But I did 8 wounds to him. Yeah, he's not dead.
and going back onto track, way back.
Uh-oh.
This is what I'm bringing to Adepticon. Can you guys see it? Because I can't see what you see.
Yes, we can see the display board.
Oh man.
Damn.
I really should make a display board, but that sounds like a lot of work.
I have one. I don't know if it's gonna get painted in time.
So one thing here in the States is the quote-unquote soft scores, the painting scores.
Yeah.
All right. Since we actually have someone from England.
Yeah.
He was asking you, Jack. What do you feel about painting
what
scores?
about? Sorry, about them. Well, it's a bit weird. We do normally have soft scores that add on to final tournament scores here, as a general rule. We tend to, but it is a bit contentious. People don't always tend to have arguments about it. For example, UK Masters that just went was decided on soft scores. The guy who was in first place ended up second because
Colin, right?
Yeah, Colin. Yeah, he's an entry player, so I feel no sympathy for him. But I mean, it's one of those things.
Wow.
Like, the guy who came first, Mikey, was a vampire player, so hooray! His army is very nice, but then Colin's army, his skinks have more metal showing on them than paint. So like it is part of the hobby to have stuff painted. But do you dog someone at the Masters? Like it's supposed to be the premier gaming event. Like how do you go? I always go by the way of because the ladder system, the scoring system for who gets into the Masters and who doesn't. Those tournaments all have soft scores built into the final score. So I thought it was fine to have soft scores in the Masters as well. So
see, for me, if I had shown up at something as big an event as the Masters and some dude had bare metal showing,
yeah,
I would be pissed off. That's just fucking with my experience. Just
yeah,
go home, paint your models so you can play well. Who gives a shit?
Yeah, especially when 20 Skinks takes off your bloody Terrorgeist turn 1. Damn you, Colin, damn you!
Oh, Thundercock.
It got better!
Now I got that on my smile.
Oh. That's why I wear a headset.
So I am one who does like to play paint. I've been painting for 20 years before I started even playing my first game. But I am a total believer of. I do believe paint scores should be somewhat involved, but not as heavily as it has in the past. I went to one tournament, Blood in the Sun, last year, and they basically gave it 50 points for paint. I'm like, that's ridiculous. That's 2 games. 2.5.
But if everyone gets it, then who cares?
No, there was only 3 people who got over 40, and it was me, the guy who ended up taking first place overall because he just had it didn't matter if he ended up in the middle of the pack. Paint pushed him all the way to first. It was ridiculous. Really? Yeah, I'm not kidding.
See, to me, I don't flock, and I think I told you I told James why, is the first time I ever flocked my my Equitane army, which was 20 years ago, I have green globs of crap sitting on it. It looked like the horse took a dump, just was green on the base.
I would give you extra points for realism, so...
Exactly!
There it is.
So it's I don't flock. But I've never had an army not painted. I've never had an unpainted model at a tournament.
So, my last experience at Brawlers was a great experience up until the last game. And it was and I got so much shit for bitching about this on my channel when I did the battle report. But I sit down after playing just these beautiful armies, having a great time, and there's a fucking dwarf player sitting across from me playing a gun line, and all of his army is not only, for the most part, unpainted, but none of them have arms. And he tries to give me this like, he tries to give me this story of like, oh, I dropped my army and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, fucker, you dropped your army and every arm of every model in the entire 6,000 points popped off? Come on. You're just lazy.
I don't know. I still like the ETC experience where the guy was playing with tuna cans.
Yeah, I remember the freak out about that, the scandal. I thought that was hilarious. Yeah.
Well, it's funny actually because he was actually allowed to play with it, provided that no one could.
Jack, can't hear you, man.
Yeah, your mic keeps cutting out, man.
I think it must be the internet overseas.
You'd figure the podcast guy would get his mic straight.
I don't think it's the mic. Maybe it's the sun is showing over there, and it's like fucking with his internet.
Again, talk about the sun. It still burns, James. It still burns.
Great big ball of fire in the sky.
Yeah, I think it's just the internet.
Maybe he hit puberty, and his voice is dropping.
Oh,
guys.
oh, it got real. It got real so fast. Now, as a guy, just to go back on the subject to answer the question, as a guy who doesn't paint his own models, I don't care about the paint score. I agree. I think if you go to a GT especially, you should have everything painted or your army shouldn't be legal. I did go to a tournament once where if your model didn't have 3 paint colors on it, they literally would come and take it off the board and say, you can't play with this model. You need to find one that's painted. And people were pissed off about it, but it's like, just like Mittierim said, it kind of ruins your experience when you're up against the guy and he's got all bare metal, bare plastic, or just, base coated models. It's like, dude, put a little effort into this. I know we're at the bottom table, but come on,
Yeah,
I agree, but at the same time, I'm playing devil's advocate here now. At the same time, wouldn't you just be happy somebody's playing this game right now?
well, that's why I have a basement.
Yeah, I was gonna say, but if I just wanted to play the game and I didn't want to go to an organized tournament, where I paid, upwards of $300, I want you to put some effort into it. I want you to put at least as much effort into it as I did. And considering how I paint, that's bare minimal effort right there. I'm looking for 3 colors.
See, for me, I mean, I don't even sitting around at home doing my narrative thing. I don't put a model on the table unless it's painted. So the idea of going to a tournament with your army not painted it's BS to me. I've got no patience for it.
See, there I'll disagree. If when I'm playing with my group, I don't care. I mean, I had one guy, his drop pods were cardboard cylinders. He just kept his Space Marines, and hey, look, they disembark, and he just flip it over, and they just come pouring out. That's what you expect from a friendly game. But I think that was going to be the next topic, so I think this is, to me anyway, you're Lord T, you're the one in charge, but it's a good segue for the tournament style player. Okay, if I'm in a tournament, I paid to be there, show some effort.
I would, like I said, that's what I think the paint score is really for. It shouldn't be 50 points, like 2 games worth, but 20 to 25 points, a game's worth for a high paint score or whatever. I'm fine with that, especially considering really most people that have painted their whole army and based them has, probably close to 20 points, and then those last 5 are really what differentiate the armies. Even 10, I'd be fine with. 50 points, that's an extreme. That was probably a mistake, but to not have any paint on your models and go to a GT where people paid money to play. If you're looking for casual games, that's what your buddies are for. That's what your local game stores are for. Hell, that's what Universal Battle is for. You want to play a game that's organized, you're paying money, and there's paper, wood, or, faux gold, fox gold up for grabs. Yeah, put some effort into it. Paint your damn models, and if not, don't bother showing up. And maybe that makes me elitist, but I'm old enough where that's okay.
And for what it's worth, I just wanted to be clear. I don't get pissed off at the guys when we sit around here at the casual table and they show up with stuff that's not painted. It's just a personal thing that I put myself up to. Is I'm not going to put something on the table until it's 100% painted. And so that's just a personal take on it.
I guess I've always thought that painting sports should be punitive. So if you don't paint stuff, then you get paints taken off. Because it sets a bad example, doesn't it? I mean, if we're playing 9th Age, the play base is small enough as it is. If you're trying to encourage new players, having grey plastic out on the table isn't going to do the job.
Mm-hmm.
You actually
looks
kicked in after talking for a little bit. Your mic kicked back in, so there seems to be a delay.
How bad
I
is
can
it?
hear him.
He's going in and out for me.
Ugh, terrible. That sucks.
No, we heard that your last little bit.
Yeah, I heard that sucks.
Terrible. That sucks.
And I also heard you're going to give me $100.
Well, I can hear you all just fine. So,
Even better.
but no, I feel like you should have points taken off for bad painting, as to encourage people to paint, because it sets a good example, helps people get people into the hobby.
Yep.
And it gives less ammunition for people of other game systems to make fun of you. Like, if I have to hear another joke about a tuna can, I'm going to lose my goddamn mind.
I did understand that, though. I got that. I know you can use any model for the most part to represent your army and stuff, but the tuna can thing, even though he did have a sob story about being robbed, after the whole story came out, I heard that he was robbed like months prior to the ETC.
Yeah.
So it was like, dude.
Exactly, months.
Could still have gotten some models. I mean, don't you guys have insurance out there? Doesn't that work out there? Again,
Yes.
ugly American over here. So,
Well, this is
Well,
the
no.
thing.
It's don't you have a friend that you can borrow the models?
Well, yeah, you think. That was the contention, wasn't it?
there was a lot of contention, but in the end, like you said, the TO made the call to let him play it as long as nobody complained. So at that point, it became the TO's fault.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was actually a guy off Team England who was his opponent. He owns a painting studio. He was like, I'm not going to play against that. It offended him, so he refused to play against it, which is unfortunate because coincidentally, some of the models from the England team went missing on that same evening, which is an unfortunate event.
Oh!
So, yeah. Fortunately, the players from England are smart enough not to bring their really nice models to the ETC. So it was nothing serious that went missing. But still, it shouldn't happen, really, should it? I'm not saying it was a direct result. I'm just saying it was an unfortunate coincidence that happened. You know.
Not me, I brought all my models. And I was like, fuck it. They're going to steal my characters. Everybody knows who it is.
Exactly.
That's what I'm going to do. After Game 5 is over, I'm going to go and I'm going to steal Zod and take it home. And just every game I play, he'll be on the corner just in focus. Is that an orc model on the table? Nope.
Nope.
No, it's a seasick elf.
Yeah.
But no, people at the top end of the ETC take it very seriously. I think there's two kinds of ETC players. I think there's like me and Chihammer, and then there's France, Poland, and Germany sort of thing.
What are you talking about? Mexico's serious this year.
Oh yeah. I no doubt. I believe you.
We've already got
very
4
convinced.
revisions of our team.
Actually, James, you had some questions about Team Mexico. Do you have a full team? Are you all set to go?
No, we're waiting for at Adepticon because majority of the mercenary players are going to be there, and I'm going to talk to them and see. I know there's a couple people who were like iffy just because of cost, and I said, don't even decide yet. We'll figure it out after Adepticon or at Adepticon, and then if you guys can't, applicants.
So if you're still looking to get over to the ETC and you have any Mexican heritage or enough money to bribe Chihammer, now's the time.
I got the Mexicans. I got the 4 Mexicans. The mercenaries.
Perfect. So now, if you want to merc for Chihammer,
Is it a good way to do it? Is to run a tournament and then have the proceeds go towards help paying for the ETC tickets? Because then everyone benefits.
or slut yourself.
It's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
What, slutting yourself?
Turn everyone, guys.
Well,
That's what the 40.
you were showing off your bod earlier, so.
I mean, that's what the 40k players do here in the UK. they hold tournaments to raise money for ETC.
I'm just saying, tournament every month. At the dojo. Let's go! Now!
$75 entrance fee.
It's like every third Saturday.
$30 table fee. Fuck Spain! I'm going around the world.
Get there
No,
the long way.
we'll have to set up some like UB practice games or something. James, we'll have to sort something out.
I'll play right now.
I'm not going to play right now. It's bloody 1:30. I'm not playing right now.
Oh, it's not that late. It's Saturday. You'll be fine. Is it Saturday over there or Sunday?
Well, Sunday now.
Sunday now. Okay. I don't know. I've never been to Europe. I'm pretty sure they'd kick me out at the airport. No, we've heard about you, fatty, on the plane.
Haven't you read the news? We're not in Europe anymore.
Not in the EU anymore.
No,
That's
you're
true.
not
That's
EU.
true. I don't know how. I try to stay away from politics. I have my opinions, and other people have their opinions, and when the two collide, it gets real ugly.
No, I love it. I think it's great to laugh at because for like 3 months we were the laughing stock of the world with our political situation, and then you guys.
Oh dear God!
Once again, America's pulling you out of the fire. You're welcome. The things we do for our friends.
Yeah, but we saved you in World War III, so it all evens out.
Yeah, you probably are gonna have to.
Oh my God. He saw a Simpsons episode.
Yeah. I've seen Simpsons. I'm not too young for Simpsons.
Nobody alive is too young for Simpsons. It's been around for like 30 years.
It's
I'm pretty sure
still
Bart Simpson's
on.
older than I
Aren't
am.
they making episodes?
I still watch it. It's only usually reruns. I can't remember the last time I saw one I hadn't seen.
So I'm saying I'm pretty sure Bart Simpson's older than I am. So.
Oh, yeah.
No, he's like 9. You're good. Perpetually 9.
Do we have any more tournament-based questions, or are we done?
I think we might be wrapping it up. Do you guys have any final thoughts before we sign off for the episode?
Tournaments are good. Go to them.
It's a good one.
I would agree with that statement. And regardless, end of the day, it's a game. Please don't throw a temper tantrum. Don't say, "Oh my God, you knocked me out of first," or whatever. It's a game. Have fun.
guarantee
Have a
I
beer.
will never say that last one.
Wait, oh, you knocked me out of first?
Yep, never gonna happen
no,
there. That's my sportsmanship
insane.
award.
No one's going to give you any sports votes when you're running with 7 breath weapons.
Yeah, no, I'm
You're like, fuck this guy. Zero sports.
I think it. I think he's gonna finish on the top tables, and his battle report is like Game 5 will be. I don't know what I'm doing here. I was looking at the list, and it said 3 on there, so I went to table 30, and no, there were 2 guys already playing. I walked around for 20 minutes.
Hey, for what it is worth, I have played at table 1 at Brawlers. Admittedly, it was game 1, but I'm still counting it.
I played at table 1 too. It was game 2, and then I went to table 40 something afterwards. But damn it, I felt good for a minute.
Actually, I didn't do bad at the Brawlers I went to last time, up until I came across that dwarf gun line, and being a typical ogre, I marched right the hell to it and got blown off the table. So
That's sound strategy.
It really was.
Try the barrels with our face.
But I sure as hell wasn't going to sit back there like all on the back line and just sit there for a draw. I was like, I came to push models around the table, so by God, I pushed models around the table till I made him blow every single one of those fuckers up.
You will kill everything.
That's one of the best things about playing vampires, is when you're losing, you're like, no, you're going to kill me. You're going to take everything off. I'm going to make you take everything off. We're going to sit here until it's all dead. I'm not going to have fun. You're not going to have fun. No one's going to have fun. But you're going to have to kill them all.
This is going to be your worst game that you will play in your life. But if you want this W, you're going to earn it. I will make you quit. What's going on? Why'd you quit? It was only turn 4. You hadn't lost a model. Fuck this guy. You kept on bringing skeletons back. I don't want to play anymore. I don't want to do this.
For the record, I want that comment on a T-shirt that I take down there. I'm not going to have fun. You're not going to have fun, but you're going to have to kill everything.
Oh, we can make that happen.
Tremendous. I didn't hear what you're bringing Adepticon.
Oh, watch my last battle report. The list is on there. The models are on there. And I got another one that I want to put up either today or tomorrow, and that'll have my list on it as well. But, yeah, it's all finalized and everything. I'm actually taking 3 bombardiers.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I do. Well, the Stratapult almost got thrown against the wall. I can't afford a cannon, and I wanted some sort of ranged. And somebody on the comment section of one of my battle reports, when I was like, I don't know what to take, he was like, try bombardiers, if only for chaff. And they've done well. It's just like in my last game that I posted, the bombardiers were wounding like crazy. It's just Sex Panther can make his ward saves like they're going out of style. So, yeah, there's a reason we call them that.
Those bombardiers, they sound a lot like Tusker points.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sound they should be Tuskers. A lot of your army sounds like Tuskers.
In all fairness, my brother bought like the beginning part of his army, like 1,200 points of ogres off of somebody who already painted them, right? So that guy, while he had painted, was like a unit of tribesmen and like 6 Tuskers, and that was it.
That's all you need. 3 units of 2.
So then my brother was like, he's like, well, I like that these are painted, but I want to paint one myself or whatever. So he started painting his own unit. So he had like 9 fucking Tuskers. I'm not kidding. He has a shit ton of Tuskers. And I have one right here. He's just like, hey, can you paint that banner for me? I was like, yeah, sure, whatever.
You're making me feel like a bad ogre player. I've got like 8,000 or 9,000 points of ogres, and I only own 2 Tuskers.
You fool.
But I do own a converted mercenary veteran that looks like he's a Bretonnian knight riding a horse, so I still win.
That is victory right there.
You need all the impact hits. You need like 3 units of 2 Tuskers, double rock or rock. You need the chariots, cannons, you need all of it. You need all the impact hits.
I do like it when the rock and the Tusker Cav hit at the same time. 3d3 strength 7 impact hits, and then 3d3 strength 5 impact hits, and I win. I don't care what it is, I win. I have a 2-up ward. Don't care.
Well, if I put all that in, where do I get my points for my Yetis?
Fuck Yetis.
They're in the corner hiding with the bombardiers where no one looks at them.
They're protecting the camp.
If you want to use points for Yetis, you get the Mammoth Hunter, and he's your general, and you get core points in Yetis.
No, that's not. You don't get Yetis as core anymore. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, even with Wildheart. Nope, that's not a thing anymore.
I just remember the last game I played against Ogres. There was my opponent, Brett, and had a long bomb charge. The dwarves went charging into those Tusker cavalry, and he's going, shit. Because, again, when they hit you like a ton of bricks.
Tuskers, man, they're just good.
I was telling my brother, you put a freaking movement banner on them, they're movement 9!
Yeah. Yeah, they're ridiculous. They're just... I can't get over them. 3 units of 2 are just absolute money.
Yeah. I was asking him the other day, I was like...
Try an impact hit themed list. Trust me. That should be... Sorry, I normally theme my list on winning. But if you want to theme it on impact hits, that'd be really good too.
My problem is if I showed up with my normal crew with a list like that, I would not have any more people to play against me.
Well, you did it once, right? You did it for the fun of it.
Yeah. It's like kicking a puppy that you're holding underwater if I were to bring something like that against these guys.
Well, what
Okay.
kind of puppy is it? Hang on.
That's bad.
I would never. I like puppies. Now, a kitten or an elf. Fuck those guys.
Hey, so you never answered my question. If I paint you a really cool elf, you have to put it on every battle report as a nobbler.
Come on, Lord T.
Scrapbook.
Just say yes. Take one for the team.
As much as it's painting you, you got to understand it's going to pain me to paint an elf.
Yeah, but I've got to put it on the board, and if it does well, I can't promise I'm not going to burn it.
I'm going to give you one of the metal ones. I'll give you one of the old school White Lion ones that are metal.
You know what? If you paint it up like it's all beat up, like somebody was just knocking the shit out of it, okay.
How about if I paint it green so it looks like it's a nobbler?
I'm okay with that. You can paint it green. There you go.
You gotta paint regular elf color and then get green and paint it badly over like his face paint is.
like a blackface.
There you go. Only green face. Green face. Yes, do that and you have a deal. Yes. And you have to name him too, because he needs his name across the back, so I always know when I'm mad what name I'm going to call out.
Bill.
Bill! You bastard! Don't think I won't. I played Blood Bowl, and a buddy of mine named one of his characters Bill, and that's the guy I foul. I don't even care. He's the one that I'm trying to kill. I've never killed him. Never so much as injured him, but damn it, I'm going to try.
Well, during this episode, I totally painted this guy really nicely.
Outstanding.
I get like hyper focused on my modeling and stuff when I'm doing these. I really do.
We need to do more then, so you can finish.
I'm telling you, I'm fine. I can do more.
Well, I'm not. I'm actually starting to hit the point where I got to go and be, a dad and a husband again. So, I know, but get all that out of the way, Jack, because eventually you're going to find one, and then you're going to be like, I used to be able to go to tournaments. I don't know what happened.
Yep.
All the
Remember
free
back
time's
when I went
gone.
to like 16 in 1 year? I went to like 1.
Alex is engaged with a puppy and he still manages 16. He can do it. I
He's not
can.
married yet, and there are no
He's-
kids.
Yeah, he's engaged. A puppy doesn't the same thing. You can't
No.
you can't let your kid go outside all day with just a bowl of water and not get the cops called on you. So
Or you can't turn around and walk the dog, feed the dog, and then leave for 8 hours and then come back. You do that with a kid, exactly. The cops are at your door going, "Excuse me, sir."
yeah, or they die. It's bad.
Technically, you can't leave a dog out here anyways, Bill.
What's that?
You can't leave a dog out here anyways outside.
No, because
Not
it's either lightning or snow, right?
Or get stolen.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, your dog would get stolen. That's right. I never had a dog stolen, but I did have one run off. We had to find him.
I've had both.
Oh, that would piss me off.
No, I feel bad. I unfortunately had to put my dog down last week. Very sad.
Oh.
Yeah. It's always so nice, definitely.
So dude,
She's in a better place now.
it ended on a good dog note. I remember growing up, I had a Chesapeake Bay Retriever, so big dog. Turned around, ate a bunch of crap that my mom really cared about. It was Mother's Day. Mom, what would you like for Mother's Day? Throw the dog out the front door. No, Mom, really, what do you want? Throw the dog. So we took this 80-pound dog, threw her out the front door. She just sat on that front stoop, staring at the door, never went anywhere. All right. So.
I thought you said this was a good story.
Huh?
I thought you said this is a good story.
I don't like dogs either, but that was not a good dog story.
Dog would never run away.
No, well, to end it on a good note, I make my dogs their treats or whatever, little biscuits, and so that's what I have to do, and I'm starting to get the look. So,
All right, last dog story. I had a little small dog when I was a kid, right? I came home from school one day, the dog sitting on the front porch, and I'm like, what the fuck? So I let the dog inside, I see my dad sitting on the couch, I go, why is the dog outside? He goes, oh shit, he came back?
oh. Well, on that note, This is as good a time as any to go. I need to go and spoil my dog's rotten. Thank you guys very much for joining me for this episode. No, I'm not crying. My eyes are just watering. And but everybody's page and podcast will be in the description below once this thing gets all processed by YouTube and everything like that. If you guys are going to Brawlers, feel free to talk to Green Dragon or Mittierim. They like it when you touch them on the face. No words, just face touches. No words. Trust me, they like that.
I thought that was a secret just between us, Bill.
I said face. I said face. And it was. Shh. So if you're going to Adepticon, feel free to come on up, say hey, shake my hand. Chihammer likes it if you just hug him from behind. Again, no words, no nothing, especially if he's in the middle of the game, just big bear hugs from behind. And if you whisper something sweet into his ear or lick the side of his ear, he likes that too. Just so everybody understands, when I do my first report from Adepticon with a black eye, it's because somebody actually did that. No charges will be filed.
Did you say it was a black guy?
Black eye. You said you weren't the racist.
I never said that. The other guy's more racist.
Damn.
Oh, yeah, we're getting shut down. But
It's your channel, not mine.
I'm getting shut down. But seriously, guys, thank you for joining. This has been a lot of fun. And until next time, thanks.
Peace.
All right.
Happy gaming.